I used to think people stopped dreaming because they got older, but I don't believe that anymore. I think people stop dreaming because life slowly convinces them not to. The daily grind leaves no room for dreaming. Wake up, go to work, come home, get through the evening, go to sleep, and then do it all again. Then a small disappointment to all of that, a tiny failure, another compromise, and slowly you start losing faith in your dreams and in tomorrow. And that's a much bigger loss than most people realize. But have you ever asked yourself, what do we actually lose when we stop dreaming? Because most people think the only thing they lose is the dream itself. I don't think that's true. I think we lose something much bigger. We lose our relationship with the future. And when that happens, the day begins to change too. Think about it. If there's nothing ahead of you that excites you, why would today feel exciting? If tomorrow looks exactly like yesterday, eventually today starts feeling exactly the same. That's why life slowly becomes routine. Not because life necessarily got worse, but because the future stopped pulling you forward. And gradually you start losing touch with your future self. Back in 1986, two psychologists, Markus and Nurius, published something that gave a name to exactly this pattern. They called it possible selves. The idea is simple. Alongside the version of you that exists right now, your mind also carries other versions. The person you might become, the person you would like to become, even the person you are afraid of becoming. And here's the important part. These aren't idle fantasies. Markus and Nurius found that these imagined future versions of you actually shape what you do today. They give your daily choices somewhere to point. Without one, your actions don't really connect to anything beyond just getting through the day. That's what a dream about your future actually is. Not a nice-to-have visualization. A mental image your whole sense of direction quietly depends on. And researchers have looked at what happens when that image fades. One study following university students found something worth sitting with. The students with the weakest, most unclear sense of a positive future self struggled more to cope and were more likely to show signs of depression, not because they'd failed at something specific, just because there was nothing pulling from ahead of them anymore. Take an ordinary Tuesday. Someone gets up and goes through the same motions as always. Nothing dramatic happens. They simply carry a vision of the life they are trying to build. Maybe it's finishing something they have been working on. Maybe it's just becoming someone a bit steadier, a bit more themselves. That quiet vision brings a little hope, a small smile, and gradually begins to color the whole day. Even a boring commute feels like it's leading somewhere. Now take that exact same Tuesday but without that vision. Same job, same commute, same evening, but nothing behind it. The day itself hasn't changed at all, yet it feels completely different. It becomes something to get through, rather than something you are building toward. So what actually happens when you stop dreaming about your future? It's rarely a moment you can point to. There's no single day when everything suddenly changes. Instead, the picture of the life you were moving toward slowly begins to fade. And once that picture fades, today no longer feels connected to tomorrow. That's the real cost. Not necessarily sadness, just the feeling that nothing is calling you forward anymore. That's why I don't think dreams are just about achieving something big. They are much more practical than that. Without one, life rarely feels apart overnight. It slowly turns into repetition. Dreams aren't just about the future. They are one of the few things that can make today feel meaningful. They give us something to move forward, something to wake up for, something that quietly pulls us through the ordinary days. So don't be too quick to let yours go, even if it seems small, even if it feels impossible right now. Because sometimes one small dream is enough to bring direction back into an ordinary Tuesday. So here's a question worth asking yourself. Do you still dream? And if not, when exactly did you stop? If you have convinced yourself that dreams aren't for you anymore, take a moment to look back. Remember how easily you dreamed as a child. Is there a dream that's quietly stayed with you? One you'd still love to make real? When I ask myself that question, one answer comes to mind immediately. I've always wanted to learn to ride a horse. It's a childhood dream that stayed with me all these years. And I still hope I will make it happen one day. Maybe today isn't about finding a brand new dream. Perhaps it's simply about giving an old one a little room to breathe again. But if your mind has been racing so much lately that it hasn't left room for dreaming at all, I made a video specifically for that too. You can watch it right here. Take care of your dreams. Sometimes they end up taking care of you. I'll see you in the next one.